Hello everyone, welcome to my channel. Please subscribe and keep watching more details. David Archuleta feels dishonest about earlier engagements. Undeniably, American Idol star David Archuleta has made a name for himself. When he came back to his roots to perform, he let Ryan Seacrest in on the reasons for the lyrics in his performance. Additionally, fans have been wondering if David is dating, or if he's already in a marriage since coming out. On April 22, David Archuleta returned to the American Idol stage. Originally, David got his start on Season 7 of American Idol. Since his time on the show, he has released 8 studio albums. When he came back to perform his new single, Hell Together, he discussed the inspiration behind the music with Ryan Seacrest. Notably, the song was inspired by his experience when coming out. In 2021, David Archuleta publicly came out as queer. Notably, David grew up Mormon. On Instagram, he says, "I've been open to myself and my close family for some years now that I am not sure about my own sexuality." Continuing, he adds, "I came out in 2014 as gay to my family. But then I had similar feelings for both genders, so maybe a spectrum of bisexual. Then I also have learned I don't have too much sexual desires and urges as most people, which works, I guess, because I have a commitment to save myself until marriage." Additionally, he explains, which people call asexual when they don't experience sexual urges. Furthermore, he urges others to consider people who are also wrestling to follow their beliefs. David Archuleta publicly came out to help them on their journeys as well. He asks, what to make of it, and I don't have all the answers. I just invite you to please consider making room to be more understanding and compassionate to those who are LGBTQIA+, and those who are a part of that community and trying to find that balance with their faith, which also is a huge part of their identity like myself. While David Archuleta has spent years discovering and redefining himself, he currently isn't in a marriage. Since his dating life is a very private matter for him, he hasn't been public with any relationships lately. According to Out magazine, he was previously in engagements with 3 different women. "Literally, my purpose before was building up the kingdom of God, and the greatest way to do that was to marry a woman and have children with her," he tells Out in 2022. "That was my ultimate goal for the first 30 years of my life. Now I have to decide what it is as a queer person. I've been engaged 3 times. I bought 3 wedding rings for girls, but it felt dishonest." Additionally, in November 2022, David said on Good Morning America his most recent relationship had ended, and he was back on the market. Furthermore, at that point, he saw himself eventually marrying a man. Although David Archuleta's journey of self-discovery hasn't been an easy one, he wholeheartedly pours into his new single. While revisiting the American Idol stage from his past, his process comes full circle. He tells Ryan Seacrest about his decision to leave the Mormon church along his rocky path. He says, "It was very hard to balance faith and coming out. It was too much. So I stepped away and I announced it." Additionally, he shares, "I didn't hear from my mom for a few days, so I was like, oh no, I've pissed my mom off," because she was very devoted too. But in a turn of events, she reached out to David. He continues, "She texted me a few days later and said I stepped away from the church as well." Then he explains, "She said, I don't want to be somewhere where my children don't feel loved and accepted. So if you're going to hell, then we're all going to hell with you." Undeniably, the passion of his mother's love is the true inspiration behind Hell Together.